After spending the night in what now Laura calls home, after having spent several in imminent danger and far from it, she's gracious to see the morning come and pass and the sun begin to set, as another night in her familiar neighborhood will be hers to scavenge the nearby buildings. Their safety in routine, and routine is all Laura knows now. Welcome back to Project Zomboid, everybody. And I apologize for a few days of not having it. The holidays and whatnot have come up on us, and as I have said before, Vampire the Masquerade has kind of gathered my attention for the time being, and I've been really wanting to just kind of play through that, knowing that there's a definitive end, etc., etc. You know, the spiel I gave you the very last time we played Project Zomboid. I'm also fiddling with my audio setup a little bit. I've fiddled slightly with some of the noise gating and whatnot, but for the most part, the response seems to be overwhelmingly positive with the new audio, so I appreciate it, and it's really nice to not have to feel like I'm, you know, having to hunch over a microphone on my desk while it picks up every noise that the desk even gives with all minor vibrations. So, as far as Laura is concerned, however, what is our goals? Well, one of the first early of this night's goals is to go back to the car, pull the bowls out of the trunk, and fill them with water and return them home. It's also extremely hot, and we're in middle of August. Temperatures are reaching up to the 90-degree mark even at nighttime. So running is going to cause us to sweat, as we already are, as you can see. We should also go ahead and feed our dear Laura so she doesn't start the day hungry. I think I'm going to take one of these pop bottles. If we're going to be doing a water run to get some water, we might as well try and fill a soda pop bottle in the meanwhile. I don't know what I want her to eat for breakfast. Nothing here screams healthy, so I guess just half a bag of chips for now. Eating like I'm playing the old build is not going to do me any favors in the long run, but for now it suits me, and I'm okay with that. We're also slightly overweight. We'll go to the trash corner real quick. Oh, we have chips on us. Oh, I put Laura to bed with a bottle of wine last night. She was still not doing quite happily when having to have had dog food for a meal the day prior. So I gave her a little bit of wine to send her to bed. Let's go ahead and pop that over here. Is that a mosquito noise in the game now? It sounds like it at least. Anyway, moving on. We'll be heading over to grab the bowls out of our car and hit nearby buildings where we know there's likely going to be water running. I have confidence that there's going to be plenty of water still happening in buildings close to us, and that our water problem, even if, you know, we couldn't get the water rain collector barrels out and built prior to winter, I still am confident that we have enough water running through our nearby buildings that water runs in the winter are not going to be as dangerous for the first year as I initially thought they were. I don't know why I feel a little bit safer this time around when I'm likely as safe as I've always been, but I feel safer right now, like that we're not going through a ton of water, and we always carry so much extra water on us that if we do run out of a bottle, we have about 2 spares on top of the 18 bottles of water that we currently have sitting in our refrigerator right now, and all the other pots and pans that we have filled in the process. So we're gonna swing inside. Everything seems quiet. And as you can see, we can fill and wash and all that other stuff. Let's hit the empty bottle first. Bowl. 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 And we can still do it, so we'll top off our water bottle. We might want to just pour the wine on the ground and get the water while we can, but I'm not concerned about it. The happiness that the wine can bring, I think, in our current state and with Laura's current supplies, is more valuable than dumping it on the ground or wasting it now and drinking it when there could be a point in time, especially in the winter, if the weather's rough, if it's blizzarding out and we don't want to go anywhere, and we've been indoors for days at a time, hey, a little bit of drinking can help keep her mood and spirits up. And that's something we want going forward. Besides, Laura knows she has plenty of water to last. And that as long as there's water to pull from the pipes and the systems in the nearby houses, with some to spare, it even seems, then her desperation for water may be a bit overblown. However, if Laura miraculously lives long enough to see another winter, then things could be a little bit more dangerous. But all it takes is me not playing safe one time, and Laura's story comes to an abrupt end. All right, I'm just gonna keep one extra bottle on us. Let's stash the chips. I feel like having 2 extra bottles of water is a bit unnecessary. A bit panicky, perhaps. Let's drop the wine back inside and the soda as well. Gave this big old speech about why it's important that I take the soda with me and what use it's going to be and how valuable it will be to fill it with water. And then the walk over, I talked myself into how good we are on water, and then none of it mattered. Good job, Mathis. How many planks do we have? 3? Okay. So if we're to look forward, spending some more time at home after going on some looting runs that may or may not have been very successful or huge failures, I do want to continue building the wall. This fence is fine. We can actually use this fence. The question becomes, do I just want to build a wall straight across directly to this fence, or do I want to cut it short and give myself like a hallway of walls here? Because if we do decide to go across and create a hallway of walls on both sides, I don't know what value that could bring and what I could do with it. I feel like there's something neat I could do, I just don't have any ideas yet. And I'm trying to picture it, and none of it looks pretty, so that's also kind of bothering me. Our backyard is going to do fine. Our little garden is going to serve our purposes. I do want to get rain collector barrels up because it would be good to not have to even think about it anymore. So we need to get our carpentry up to 4. We've got so many things we need to do. Also, if we want to get our mechanic skill up, something that I completely forgot we can just do is just keep taking tires and putting them on and off, on and off, on and off, until we get to a mechanics 1. And then electrical is just going to be us having to just disassemble every walkie-talkie and radio that we hit throughout our time playing. Something that I've kind of neglected for the most part, and likely shouldn't be. All right. Well, we've got an axe and a saw, so we can at least start chopping down some trees and preparing ourselves for construction. And listen, I was looking, I was like, wow, this lawn's overgrown, but ours isn't. I wonder why that is. Like, it's just my brain. I don't know if I can actually slip through. I shouldn't be able to. So yeah, all right. So we've got an effective wall here. It's just gonna take us a little bit of patience to use it. But honestly, you know, the safety outweighs any and all other concerns. I'm gonna keep chopping down a bunch. I don't want to forge. No, I don't want to forge. We're already really sweaty. We're a little panicky. And we are tiring ourselves out greatly. But I'm going to kind of try and hit this huge chunk of land so I have no trees in this area, and I can safely kind of just walk through here. We are excessively exerted. We can only do this slow walk, so thus ends that. And we've kind of beaten the hell out of our axe here. I think we have a spare. If not, I'm sure there is plenty in the hardware store that we sort of looted heavily. I did not mean to start the car. I love that we've got a nice little car wall. We never achieved this with Michael Garcia, but we didn't need to. We didn't have our spot was slightly different. I'm actually very happy with the amount of safety we built for Mr. Garcia. So she's approaching, like, I'm surprised we've lived as long as we have with her. 300 zombies killed, and it's only been over a month. I feel like it's been 2 months. Oh my god. It's not been that long. That's okay, though. We need to go sit down, rest, eat some chips, maybe. I hope our tomatoes finish up soon, too. Our resting chair, the only one we didn't take down so we could use it. Man, that took a while. We're drowsy, we're a little peckish. Some coyotes out there. One day those howls might actually mean wildlife nearby. And that'll be pretty scary when we have to start contending with coyotes or wolves or whatever they put out here. But that also means, you know, one of the reasons I haven't actually done like a big hunting playthrough of this game, or should I say wildlife playthrough of this game, is because there's no wildlife. Like, I know you can live in the woods and forage and whatnot, and that's definitely more enjoyable in, say, multiplayer, when you have the risk of other players finding your camp, etc., etc. But in single player, especially in the new build, since multiplayer isn't fully really in yet, I've played pretty much only single player of the old build. There's just no draw when there's no wildlife to contend with and no risk of running into wolves maybe smelling the raw meat coming to hunt you down or whatever. So I'm excited that, you know, wildlife is going to be the first step, not only into like the next big updates, but also it's like the first step into the AI NPCs, which is exciting stuff. Anyway, we're gonna saw everything we've got. I don't know if this actually ups my carpentry skill at all. I imagine it does. 219.75. Like, this is a real easy way to just grind that carpentry. All right, now we'll look. Yeah, it doesn't do much, but it's like one, maybe less than 1 EXP per, but it's better than nothing. And lore reward is, if anything, determined. We're building up an appetite. Let's go ahead and eat our chips. Chip break. It's all good construction workers typically take, isn't that right, ladies and gents out there in the construction world? Chip breaks. Absolutely the thing you're all known for. All right. Sorry, I was drinking my coffee. Don't judge me. I'm a caffeine addict. I'm not proud of it. It's just life at this point. I don't want a drill plank. Is that all the logs? Did we get them all? Looking like it. Look at that. 232. We gained like 10 experience for that second half there. All right, so the next thing then is to start transporting them all over. This is why I like doing a lot of the work off camera. I try to keep on camera stuff mostly exciting stuff. But every once in a while, hey, the progress has to be shown. Laura is not just a fighting and looting machine. She's multifaceted. Many projects going at once, and she's, if anything, able to handle it. Being a doctor at some point in her life. You know, that kind of comes with it. You kind of have to juggle a lot of things all at once. So, this is what it's like to be Laura. All right, we'll dump them all here. We'll just kind of bring them back a bunch at a time, and then we can start building the wall from here, and then choose what we want to do. I'm assuming going through these walls, we're likely, by the time we're done with this front-facing wall, whether we go all the way here, we decide to take a hard turn, I do have a feeling she'll be, wow, we're already very tired, huh? Well, I don't want to drink anything or eat anything that's going to give me too much energy, so we'll just let it go. Just going to have to deal with it. By the time we're done, though, as I was trying to say, I believe we shall have that level 4 carpentry. We're almost at level 3. It's really just a level's worth and then just a tiny bit more of EXP. Alright. I don't want to overdo it either. I want to be able to run and build some sprinting skill continually. I know it's slow going, but I mean, we're already at level 3 and I'm happy with that. We can make our way closer and closer to 4. The faster we can run. I know people, you know, look down on the sprinting skill. They say, Mathis, it's just going to get you caught. And you're not wrong. It can be dangerous. But I also place it high on the priority list when it comes to skills that I want up there because, you know, if I'm going to be putting myself out there, going on looting runs and adventure runs, there we go. I want to be able to put myself in relatively scary situations, but still be able to get out of them. And the higher your sprinting skill, the more likely you are to be able to get away from a dangerous situation later and later. So, you know, if you can't sprint early on or whatnot, and you're nervous, and there's a lot of zombies everywhere, the later you realize you're in danger, the less chance you are going to survive because the zombies will be that much closer, and you know they could have shifted into bad spots for you to be running through, etc., etc. But if you have a higher sprinting skill and you can move faster for longer, then you can notice it still a little later, or notice it and put it off before moving to until you are ready to go, because you know that you'll be able to slip through them. That also, you know, that applies with all of the skills. Nimble, light-footed, you know, nimble makes it harder for them to grab onto you. Light-footed means you can run and make less noise, you know, the usual. I just think they're valuable. I know most people prefer to play a little bit of a quieter game, and in multiplayer, I think playing a much quieter game is going to lend to your survival more so than in the single-player version of the game, at least for now until NPCs are in. You think I'm crazy, I know, but it's just my preferred playstyle. No playstyle is right or wrong, except for the ones that make you lose the game. Those are the wrong ones. Just getting a little anxious, tired, and chopping down trees and sawing logs and moving the planks over all night long. A little cigarette break is well earned. Starting to get hungry. I think we can do one more trip of planks. I am genuinely surprised for how long Laura was gone. That really no zombies moved in and posed a threat to anywhere nearby. Near the park a little bit. There was a few stragglers that followed us as we were making noise heading back, but they were manageable and way less than I was expecting. All right, let's get that. Let me get out of here. I fully expected there to be. Oh, I could probably just hop over this now. For the last trip, be a little bit lazy. Oh, she's tired though. We're good. Am I hurting myself like an idiot? Slight damage. We're a little sweaty. We're okay. We're like overloading the floor with planks. Alrighty. Well, a little bit of grunt work had to get done, and I'm alright with it. It's still really early for her to be sleeping, but she'll sleep a long time. I'd like to keep Laura up for a couple more hours. So we're just rest for now. Kill the exertion in case something bad decides to come knocking on our front door here. Alright, we're good. Let's head upstairs and get her to sleep. Ooh, bonking the mic. Well, she slept through the day just fine. No gunshots, no storms, no zombies thudding on any of our equipment. A little hungry, but that's all right. Why don't we know today's going to be a busy kind of day. Why don't we take a can of tomato soup and go heat it up? Do we have a bowl? I know we have a bowl with water. Maybe I'll just pull one and empty it. I thought I kept a spare one around. We do have a spare axe, which is good. I thought we did, but it's good to see it. All right. Well, I'd like to make the soup the right way. I'm gonna try, and if I F it up, I'm sorry. If I burn everything down, I'm gonna be very upset. But here's what we need to do. Pour into the bottle. So we actually saved the water. At least what we could of it. Open a can of soup. Now I want to pour it into the bowl. How do I do that? Add some twigs to the fire. Okay, give me a plank maybe? Well, I stopped caring. Drink the soup, girl. Drink it cold. We've got a lot of work to do here. Looks like as we construct here, I've drawn a visitor. Just one, and I don't think he can get to me. It's a good test, though. And as you can see, I think I've decided to go all the way across with the wall. But that was the last of the planks, which went surprisingly quickly. So we can do about a day's worth of plank gathering and a half a day's work of on the wall. It's not too bad. It's not that much food. It is going to make us sweaty and hot, unfortunately, but that's all right. I can definitely finish this part off camera. I might even fill this in. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll make that work as time goes on. For now, she's got to cool down and alleviate some of the load here if she's going to go back to sawing logs. We have weapons. We have ammunition. And honestly, we're not all that bad off.